Join Dalton and Jacob as they discuss the ever-changing world of trading card games. TCG Buzz starts now.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Dalton, back at it again with Christian.
Hey, what's up? It's me, Christian.
Ooh, I like the energy, Christian.
Yeah, man.
And everyone's favorite and least favorite, Ginger.
Wait. How can I be both?
You know why.
Okay.
You
All
know
right.
why.
All right.
You know, there's some people who obviously do not like you, and there's people who do like you. So
That's basically the story of my life.
yeah. So
I just wish, there was one person in this room who was in the category of people who like me.
damn it, Darian. No.
All right. What are we doing today?
Today we're gonna bring you our review of the Springfest 2018 down in Chicago.
Ooh.
It was pretty lit, not gonna lie. It's nice seeing some of y'all down there.
Yeah, we actually saw a lot of fans.
A lot of previous opponents that we faced, and we may have faced them too. Who knows? We have to get into it to actually figure that out.
I don't think most people recognize me because I shaved my beard.
That was it. Yep.
Except for like one or two.
I mean, the beard is your thing, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a true point. It's a true point.
That's like if I dyed my hair black.
Hey, at least then you wouldn't be that one person's hated ginger.
Oh.
Because, you wouldn't be a ginger anymore.
Yep.
But we're getting off topic. Let's kind of talk about the pros and cons of the event.
Yeah, because this is the first time they did Team League.
Yeah, which was actually pretty fun, not going to lie. Christian, how did you feel about teams?
I definitely liked it. I just leave it for only Springfest.
Yeah, which it wouldn't make sense for them to do it for regionals, especially since that's going to go up to Worlds, and it wouldn't work out because it's like you're trying to figure out who's the best Buddyfight player, not team.
I mean, they could do it like the best team Buddyfight.
Christian, stop it. Okay. Don't give Bushi ideas.
Okay. I do have to say that it was kind of surreal because, spoilers, we got top 8.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I know. I'm just throwing that out there right now. It was kind of surreal because they were calling off the team names, and they were all really silly names like Team Fish Sticks.
Ooh, Team Fish Sticks.
Or
Team 4 Horsemen -1.
Yeah, stuff like that. And then Team TCG Buzz.
Hey, but I'm not going to lie. It just might have just been me and the hype, but I feel like we got a bigger applause than most.
Oh, yeah. Everyone loves us, man. Yes. Especially Christian.
Yay!
No, but I really had a lot of fun with the event. It was 5 rounds of Swiss.
Yeah, 5 rounds of Swiss.
And then cut to top 8. And I think 5 rounds is like that sweet spot sometimes. I mean, sometimes I'd rather do 6 rounds.
To be fair, though, there was only 35 teams. Mm-hmm. And if you do the math, you can do that at home because I don't feel like doing it in my head right now. Times 3, yada, yada, yada. I think it's like
105.
Like 100 and something. Now I lost track. Oh, no. But it really depends on the number of players to determine the rounds. Because if you have, like, say, 1,000, you're not going to do 5 rounds. That wouldn't be fair.
But it was nice having 5 rounds. And with those rounds, there were very few that went to crazy overtime.
Oh, yeah.
So things kept relatively smooth.
Yeah, it was a pretty smooth event, no lie. Great judges.
Yeah,
I'd pretty cool judges, fair. At least I didn't have any judge rulings at all. Christian, did you have any judge rulings?
Later in top 8.
No. In top 8. Yeah, that's right. Jacob, did you have any rulings?
Just 1 or 2 minor ones.
Did you have to call over a judge for it, or
I did once in Swiss.
Okay. I don't remember that.
It was overall a pretty fun event, though. Vendors were all right. Shout out to Cardfight Underground.
Yeah, man.
Got some good stuff there.
We're sorry, other store. We don't remember your name.
I bought.
Wow.
Gotta be real. But shout out to y'all. You know who you are.
I made a very stupid purchase at Cardfight Underground.
You made 2 very stupid purchases. One happened to be with trades, and one was actual purchase.
I won't say out loud what it is, but you can actually see. Oh no. I was gonna plug because they're visible in my deck profile for the deck I played. Speaking of which, what decks did we play?
I say mine should go last. I just have this feeling.
All right. We'll go this way.
Oh, I thought you wanted to go first because
all right. I'll go first. Sure. I was, as I'm sure most of you know, planning on playing Prism Dragons.
We had the Trial of Prisms.
We had the Trial of Prisms.
Yes.
Trial of Prisms. And they were running pretty smooth.
And then a certain deck came out that changed your mind, I'm pretty sure.
It was a part of it, but also just the fact that Driven to Disorder did not give them very good cards, whereas a lot of the other decks that had been, on level or slightly below Prism Dragons got really good stuff. And then
that's just what happens,
A certain new deck was introduced that, in my opinion, Prisms do not have a very good matchup against.
Mm-hmm.
That happened to be the deck that Christian played.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I played.
But wait, you never told anybody what you were playing.
No, I know. It was just such a smooth segue. I had to. But no, I played Thunder Empire instead because they were faster and better. And
Dragonworld or Fang?
Fangs.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
okay.
Mostly multi-world focused.
Where the heck do you get those cards?
Where did I get those cards? So I played the deck he was planning on playing.
Yep.
With some customizations to make it more my own play style.
Yeah, but it's still my play style in the end.
What did you play instead?
I picked up Auto Deity Army.
So wait. Let me get this straight. So Jacob played good Thunder Empire. Christian played bad Thunder Empire.
And you should have played Dragon World Thunder Empire. We could have all been playing.
It could have happened. I was talking to Christian, like, we should just do this. Each of us play a variant of Thunder Empire. It'd be the dumbest thing ever, but it would be so fun.
Just like how there was at least one team I know that was specifically playing the Chaos 3 for theming.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was our decks. Yours worked surprisingly well. Mine worked surprisingly well. I mean, I guess unsurprisingly well. Everyone knows Thunder Empire is good.
Yeah.
Dalton was the wild card.
Your boy had to stunt out.
Dalton's always the wild card.
Your boy didn't pick his deck until like the day of, because I was bouncing around 3 different deck choices: Plague, Water, and Dual Golems being the main 3. There were a few others that were kind of roguish, like Knights. But it kind of came down to what I liked a little bit more and what I kind of wanted to be like during the tournament, because I totally could have been a complete prick and played Plague and tried to flip over everybody's flag, but I didn't think they were quite fast enough for the meta, to be fair.
Without
next set. Watch out, Plague. Plague might be the new meta, just saying. Water, I felt like I'd be way more of a prick. I'm like, get rid of your gauge, get rid of your monsters. I don't like any of it. I'm going to bounce that item back to your hand. I'm going to nullify that spell, do all that stuff. Didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want you guys to hate me, So I played the lesser of all evils and played an OTK deck for Dual Golems, which I realize it's probably just as bad as all the others.
Yes.
But at least you're like, oh, wow, you totally just pulled this off on me. And then you're not as mad. But
I think part of the benefit of not playing Water and playing that over it is a lot of people had ended up sideboarding for Prisms. And coincidentally, a lot of the prison sideboard choices also work really well against Water.
Yes, this is very true.
So I think you lucked out there and you picked the right deck. And it ran surprisingly well, didn't it? I mean, it was still
not every day
Dual
that
Golem OTK or die, but...
Hey, actually, before we continue on, what were the name of all of our decks? Jacob, I want you to go first.
Okay. My deck name, I forgot about these, that we actually named them. I don't know why I forgot that. We do it every event. Mine was called, the official name of it was I Literally Stole This Deck, lol.
Christian, I know I came up with your deck name because you're having a little bit of trouble. What was it?
I put it on autopilot.
It's so good.
So perfect. And then mine was probably a little generic, but it was Overkill. You dead? No? Okay.
And what's funny is that's exactly true.
That's how I knew it was going to go. But now we've rambled on about our decks long enough. Obviously, we'll have links in the description with all of our deck lists because they should all be out by the time of this recording. So, check those out.
Dalton, they're out now as we're recording this.
That's what I just said.
So, yeah, they're out.
So why did you question?
Guaranteed they're out.
Hey, man, you never know. We could do some time travel and...
Good idea.
Yes. But let's get it into the whole rounds and so forth. So starting off with the obvious round 1. Christian, what was your matchup?
I was playing against Prism Dragons.
Ooh. And how did that fare for you?
I did pretty well.
did pretty well. Okay, that says a lot.
2-0, 2-1, 1-2,
0-2,
7-7.
2 wins in a row.
Okay, so
2-0, not bad.
pretty decisive.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my question about your round, I know it was pretty standard prisms versus oddities, like nothing crazy, right?
Yeah.
Do you think the fact that you have play tested repeatedly with me again playing Prism Dragons for the past several months helped you?
A bit, and the fact that it threw me for a loop because unlike you, the person that I was playing against had a promo that was from the shop.
Oh, the shop shop challenge.
That
promo.
was one of the other big reasons I did not play them as hard.
Even though I'm pretty sure we got like 2 or 3 copies before the tournament even began.
Yes, but that card threw me out of the loop. I was like, oh no, this is not good. But then I was able to get my field back and come back from that easily.
There you go.
Nice.
And now mine. Now you see, I prepared for a lot of decks. You know, I was looking at, because I was in C, Christian was in B, and Jacob was in A. We'll talk about that little mini meta a little bit later, but I'm thinking C is typically going to be a more roguish decks, a little bit more maybe weaker players, not 100% sure, maybe a strong player with a rogue deck type situation. I just never suspected to play the mirror. Round 1.
Against Jonathan Midham.
No. Jonathan Max Rarity. Midham.
Yep.
And we looked at each other, we're like, okay, this is how it's going to go. So it was pretty straightforward, you know. Game 1, OTK for Max Rarity. Game 2, OTK, TCG Buzz, AE. Game 3, though, was the most intriguing game. It only took like 2, maybe 3 turns. But it wasn't an OTK.
What?
We were sitting there like waiting for our Dragolems to appear, and he got to it first, and sadly, he took it from me. But I was still just baffled.
What are the odds?
The
mirror
odds
in round 1?
The odds are too high. I
mean, 1, you had to be paired up against each other. 2, you had to both be put into C.
Exactly.
3, you both had to be playing that deck. Like, it's kind of crazy.
Oh.
And you mentioned there were 2 OTKs, and even then, with the third one taking a little longer, you were done like within what?
I want to
5-10
say
minutes?
the average.
I was still in my first round.
The average for all of my rounds were probably 5-ish, maybe a little bit more.
There was
5
so
minutes?
much of Dalton sitting around waiting for us.
Yeah, I was just spectating. I was just a spectator, honestly.
So my round 1 was...
Yeah, your round 1. It came down to you. Christian won. I lost. You had to pull this through. What did you face?
So I fought against a guy named Chris using knights.
Ooh.
And so round 1 was an OTK from me.
Okay.
Round 2 was an OTK from him.
This sounds very familiar.
Yes, but round 3...
What happened?
Game 3, I guess. Neither one of us got that OTK off. And then turn 3 or turn 4, I Miseria'd.
Oh, no.
And reset the board, kept going, and we ended up both using up our hands in defense and board setting up and just trying to get to that win. And neither of us could get there. We were so close, each of us. And I was leading, like, resource-wise and damage-wise the entire time as we were playing. This was long. Like, this third game was longer than game 1, 2, and Dalton's games put together. By
the way, they called it was like 10 minutes left.
Yep. And our first 2 were maybe 5 minutes total.
Yeah.
And what, the rounds were about, what, 30, 35? 40?
I think. So it was like half an hour for this one game. It was kind of nuts. And then what ended up happening was we both ran out of resources, and it became a top deck fest. So he'd top deck something, try and kill me with it. I'd top deck something, try to kill him with it. He'd top deck something. And this happened for like 4 turns in a row. And finally, I got him down to 1 life.
And you did it.
And he had his item that reduced damage by 1.
You didn't do it.
So I had to top deck a monster with 2 crit or a card that could, keep my advantage going. Either or, it would be fine. And I top decked one of my one crit monster that only does something when another monster is called, and I had no other cards in hand. So I'm like, well, nope, that's GG. He wins, and sure enough, he won.
Wow.
Yeah, and by this point, everyone else was done, so they're just sitting around watching, and it was the closest buddy fight game I've ever played. And my opponent's just like, oh. And it's funny because we got into top 8, as did their team. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to Jonathan between rounds, and he's like, oh, I do not want to fight you guys again.
I'm like, I'm coming back. I want that victory. He's like, I don't want to do the mirror match again. I'm like, I will win this time.
That was, sure, we lost that round, but that was an incredible round. It was super cool.
And that's what I told myself, we got to win every single round from here on out.
Yeah, oh, that's what I said. I told you all, like, we got to win out, guys, just to be safe.
Yep. All right, round 2.
Round 2. Jacob, what did you play?
What did I play? You've got the notes. One of you.
You don't remember what you played?
It was Prisms, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Prisms.
There you go.
I did not keep notes. So I fought against a Prism Dragon deck, and the guy who just wasn't getting his stuff, and it just was not a good matchup for him, and I was pulling God hands left and right.
Yeah, I kind of noticed after I was done.
I 2-0'd him pretty easily. My sideboard even really wasn't needed. It was just a very one-sided match.
Unfortunately.
Really cool guy, though. It was fun to hang out and talk with him, and while we waited for the other rounds to finish.
All right. Christian, who did you play up against?
I played against a Leviathan player.
Nice.
And
how many games did you guys get in before?
1 game, because you guys.
Dalton and I swept the round, and then they're like, well, our match doesn't.
When I finished mine, we're just like, okay, let's go round 2. You two is like, well, we're done. It's like, oh, yeah. Okay, I guess we're done.
And then you guys kept playing, though, just for the fun of it, right?
Yeah, we just for learning purposes. Yeah. Just for him.
It was fun hanging out with those guys. It was not their round.
It wasn't, unfortunately.
But it was a blast.
Yeah, definitely.
Round 3?
Round 3. And that's how you get out of saying what your matchup was.
Oh. What was your matchup?
I was playing up against Plague, and unfortunately for her, yeah.
Plague versus Dual Golem sounds pretty rough because it's a
she didn't get any nullifiers to try to combat my aggressiveness, so it was pretty fast. That average of 5 minutes, unfortunately, but still a fun matchup. Glad to see Plague actually being played. Mm-hmm. It was quite nice to see, but nothing too exciting about it. OTKs all the way.
So round 3, there was a common theme between Dalton and I's matches, something just interesting and noteworthy. So we're gonna start with Christian, who didn't have that.
Oh, okay. I played against Thunder Emperor Fang.
Ooh, yeah. A kind of mirror.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it felt like a mirror-ish. It felt the good guy versus the bad guy. Like in the animation.
Oh no, anime scenes.
Yeah, exactly. First round, it was interesting because we didn't get our big boys out. It was just, here's my 1-drop guy. He's just my small dude, basically, like my Pentar. And he called globes and sphere, and that was his turn. And I'm like,
ouch.
Yeah. And then next turn I got top deck Gear God basically, and then
I went smooth sailing from there.
Yeah, smooth sailing from there. And then round 2 match 2, round 2, I don't know.
Game 2.
Game 2 of round 3.
Yeah, game 2 of round 3. He had his Satsuki G out. And by the way, I never saw his bots at all.
So he was ready to do the work in game 2, it sounds like.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he did not use Satsuki G's as an overturn. But I did see he grabbed his bots, though.
Well, was there good stuff in the soul?
Yeah. Actually, I looked through. It was just size 1s.
See.
And a few spells. So I dropped like a size 1 from calling one of my, the guy who drops a soul and deals the damage for free, basically. So he didn't call a thing. Mm-hmm. And basically, I kept attacking him, and he didn't nullify them, thinking that I didn't have an impact. Well, I didn't have an impact in my hand, but it was in the drop zone.
Oh, no.
So I casted Assault of the Auto Deity Army, casted that, grabbed the impact, and finished him.
Oh, no.
And that was a complete ass pull.
Dang, man. Dang.
All right, so the common thread I mentioned, both Dalton and I, our opponents were people we fought before.
Previously in other tournaments.
Actually, at the same tournament, too, which is kind of funny.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was our last tournament we did a review for in Indianapolis, where each of us had an opponent who were on the same team now that fought against. I'm not explaining too well, but my opponent was a good friend of the channel, awesome dude who has his own YouTube channel, Speed Robo.
Shout outs, bro.
Yeah.
And what was he playing?
He was playing a Water Skull Warriors hybrid deck.
I think I've seen. I'm not sure if it was tournament deck list, but he did post it on his channel, a Skull Warrior Water deck list.
And
seemed pretty intriguing.
It's an interesting deck list. I thought it was really unique and really fun to fight against, and it was a very entertaining round. So game one, I got scared because I got my starting hand, and it was one Fighter's Oath, one Red Thunder Emperor's Awakening.
All right, sounds like good cards so far.
One Loud Noise.
Okay, still good.
And 4 Satskis.
Huh?
Yes. 4 Satskis.
You can't call that.
No. I got scared. I'm like, oh no, it's happening. I'm bricking. And I didn't brick necessarily because I got the 1 Satski out and I had enough resources to keep going. Mm-hmm. And I had gone first, which is actually a good thing because I could just set the Satski attack for 3 pass.
Yeah.
What ended up happening, though, is every pull after that, my deck was just like, hey man, sorry about that opening hand. Let me just give you exactly what you need. And I ended up pulling out the victory. He got his cannonball. Cannon. I always think ball at the end of his name. He got his cannon out, but
think of the camera, man.
Didn't get his Nanase out at the same time, which kind of hurt him. So I managed to pull out the victory. And then we go into game 2, and I had sideboarded. And I got my Spark Gallows, and I moved his Namase.
His what?
His Nanase.
Oh, I thought you said Namase.
No, I moved his, maybe, I don't know. I moved his Nanase to the left, and it was, all right, GG. He's like, oh no, but you want to attack my Nanase, right? It was a lot of fun hanging out. And what I love about fighting him, because this is my second time fighting him, he played a kind of similar build minus the water stuff. Last time it was more Skull Warrior focused. The banter between him and I is a lot of fun. We were just being sarcastic the entire time. It was great.
That's cool.
Awesome.
And then the lady I faced, I'm not 100% sure if it's Speed Robo's mom or not. I'm pretty positive it is. I didn't catch that. But she was playing 72 Pillars.
Yes. Yes.
Game 1, I OTK'd. Game 2.
Dalton, that's your entire tournament report. So I OTK'd.
Yeah. Game 2, I was all set for the OTK, right? Had Dole Drew Golem. Did his overkill, went to swing for 8. She nullified it.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, oh, no, this is it. This is it. And then we kept going for a little bit. She dropped down the Impact Osmoda.
The Impact monster that bounces things, then deals damage.
Yes.
Equal to number of bounce.
I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I'm so scared. I don't know how I'm going to get past this. Eventually, I pulled it through, but I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the most I've had to work with this deck so far.
Wow.
It's on overdrive quickly.
And it's funny because we all ended up finishing around the same time.
I know. It was so weird. It wasn't a 5-minute match.
No. It was really interesting, but I had a lot of fun with that.
Oh, yeah. It was a great round. Round 4, huh?
Round 4.
Round 4.
Oh, boy.
I say Christian.
I don't want to talk
first.
about it. Okay.
So I do check on Twitter for the hashtag, what was it, Victory Day or whatever, in the Japanese community and kind of checking out what their meta's looking like. And they had the streak of Black Dragon sets going on. And I ended up playing a Black Dragon set deck. So game 1, I OTK. Game 2 though. Game 2 is where it got interesting. Because I got Droll de Golem on field with 2 souls. He had his buddy out, which had 2 souls that can drop its soul to pop a card, which was pretty nice, but I had too many souls for it to work. He had a set on field. I swing. He discards a size 0 that drops my defense by 5, my power by 5,000, defense by 5,000. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, all right. So I go from 10 to 5. You have 6. Thank goodness I have this one card that I only run at 2 copies in here. What was it called? What was it? Battle Spirit? No, not Battle Spirit.
Aura?
Battle Spirit Unite.
Yeah, Battle Spirit Unite. I'm like, Cass, I give him plus 4,000 power because I had the newest item for Dual Golems equipped. And he's just like, dang.
What a cheese move.
I'm like, you did everything in your power, but I just had a little bit more power.
That's Dalton's favorite Tekken card.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Even though I might be leaving with the next set, but I'm still on the fence because it's for the turn. The new cards is only for battle, but we'll get into that when New World Chaos comes out. Christian.
I'm sorry, boys. Couldn't do it.
You couldn't? What do you mean you couldn't do it? What'd you play?
I played against the Chaos.
Oh. All right. Who got their setup out faster?
He did.
Did you get any setup at all?
I did. And then I proceeded to get pummeled.
It's funny because I started watching that match, and one of the games he just had
it was 3 games.
Six gauge at one point.
Yeah.
And I'm or almost 8, and I'm just thinking he has to be running the Impact. The pay for.
Did he say he did? Yeah.
No, I don't think he was. He didn't. Because if he would have, he could have taken that from us.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. Oh, so crazy.
Basically, game 1, I didn't get absolutely anything. So I told you, Dalton, hey, Dalton, remember that 5% chance I told you of deck breaking? And here it is. So that happened. And then
game 2, you won.
Game 2, I won it. I got lucky and I passed. And then game 3, whoo. I lost. It's really not that. It was very anticlimactic. I got my gear got out. I got my. He basically had 2. What's his name? Edward.
Edward the Chaos.
Edward the Chaos.
Yeah.
Gear
got. Do it for you.
Oh, the gear got 7, and Chaos Dragolin basically, the one that gives him +5, +2 crit.
Dang.
Yeah.
I see meme.
That's a field, all right, and I couldn't really manage it.
Dang. Now Jones.
Oh my gosh, man.
Now Jones. I remember after this round, you had noticed something, and you had to get new sleeves.
Yeah. Right after the round was done, I had been shuffling because I had taken my sideboard back out, and I'd been shuffling, and I broke one. Yeah,
you broke one of your sleeves.
I'm like, oh no! So we had to frantically rush to the vendor. Shout out to Cardfight Underground again.
Yeah. $6 ultimate guards.
Breaking my sleeves, I see.
I know. No, but me and my opponent sat down and we flipped our flags over. And Thunder Empire mirror match, baby.
Oh boy.
So first of all, I was analyzing his deck as we played, and we played very, very different builds. He was relying on that one Legend World weapon, the one that
has double attack, and then it can counter pop, and then you have 4 life or less, stand it again.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's a good card.
So we played through game 1, and I just hit it off, and I was able to beat him close to an OTK, nearly an OTK. I got the first game.
Okay.
Game 2, we did our sideboards, we did everything, we were going through it, and I could not get the resource gain. I had the God Hand without the gauge. So I had my Satsuki ready to be played. I had my Corpse Bots ready to be played. And I had Hextuple Attack Bots all in hand and no gauge Excel.
Oh, no.
And I'm just like, oh, no. I managed to get the Satsuki out, but that was it. I'm like, I could be just pummeling. And he was running that Black
Dragon size 2 that when it swings, destroys a monster or deals damage, pop a gauge, and then if there's no gauge, deal 2, right?
Yep.
All right.
And he just kept swinging at me, killing my gauge over and over and over again. And I'm just like, no, I don't care if you were swinging at me, but I need the gauge. And I was always 1 gauge short of anything I needed to do. And I ended up losing game 2. And game 3.
Oh, no. You don't sound so happy.
Oh, game 3 was the most stressful game of Buddyfight I have ever experienced, because we both knew, at this point, we knew that it was tied up and one of us was going to win it for our team. and he was winning.
He was winning.
He was winning. I was way behind in the game. I had half the life he had. I was down to like 3 cards in hand, and he had 7.
Ooh, that management, though.
And then I top decked Corpse Bots.
Nani?
And had the gauge for him. I slapped him down on field. He had his big old hand, but he had nothing but his item on field. And I had sideboarded in just the right cards to get my drop to maximum efficiency. Like, my drop I had...
From max crit for him?
Max crit. My deck, even with sideboard cards in, could not get more crit to bots than he already had. And I had globes on field.
So you gave him an additional crit, right?
Yep. So it swung with globes. He took the 1, and then and it did bots' overturn, and I got bots up to 8 crit.
No, it was 10.
No, 10.
It's 10 crit.
10 crit. 10 crit. I forgot his native crit. He was at plus 8 crit. And then I go to swing with him, and he uses a loud voice loud noise. And he's really
loud voice.
It is voice. And he's really thinking, like, I can see the gears grinding in his head about how he can best save himself. And he is like doing the math on how many cards to drop to try and save himself. And he ends up dropping his entire hand, getting it down to 4 crit.
And no power.
See, if he'd been running Satsuki, I would have been screwed there. Or even Takosuke. And then I swung for 4, done.
Woo.
Yeah. Oh.
When you're swinging in with the bots with no power, but 4
and then,
crit.
we left to go deal with that sleeve that I broke. And I'm just sitting here, like, at the same time, because I know we're going into round 5, which at the time we thought might be the last round. I was just, like, so fried from the match. And I'm like, Dalton, don't ever let me play the Thunder Empire mirror match again.
And I didn't.
No. You got all the rest of them. Round 5.
Round 5. I'll go first. I played Thunder Emperor Fang.
Okay.
I played Thunder Emperor Fang.
All right.
Game 1, I overextended. I forgot that Thunder Emperor Fang starts off at 11 life.
Oh, no.
I did everything perfectly. Casted my impact. Only had 2 gauge, so I couldn't get for the extra. And then I look down, and I'm like, crap. He had 11 life. Where's my extra gauge?
Oh, no.
If I had it, I could have OTK'd. Game 2, I OTK'd. Game 3, I didn't do nothing.
Couldn't do nothing.
Couldn't do nothing. Then, yeah, I lost.
All right.
And then Jacob.
My turn. I was fighting against Prism Dragon, second time of the day, and I kind of see that as a benefit for me because I know the deck really, really well from play testing them an absolute ton. And this guy was really good with them. We went into it. Game 1, I just kept life gaining like crazy.
Didn't you get like 19 or 20?
19 life, but then I knew I was going to lose.
Wait.
Turn 1.
Wait.
Turn 1, I had 19 life and 11 gauge, and I knew I was going to lose.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Yes.
Take me back real quick.
Yep.
11 gauge.
Yep.
19 life.
Yep.
Cards in hand.
2.
Cards on field.
Satsuki.
Any monsters in soul?
Nope.
No monsters in soul.
Oh, well, a couple. Nothing special. Maybe 3.
Okay.
And and
you knew you were going to lose?
I did know I was going to lose because I didn't have great board presence, and my drop zone setup had been abysmal. It was all Dragon World.
Oh, the faded Dragon World.
And also, I know that the Thunder Empire Prism matchup is won via the sideboard.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, I know I'm going to lose this, but I'm going to try my hardest, but I'll just come back with my sideboard in full swing. Because like 50% of my sideboard is at 4 Prism Dragons.
Okay.
And
so you lost game 1.
I did lose game 1, and he ended up he used his overturn and dealt a decent amount of damage on like turn 3 or turn 4. And then on my next turn, I was just trying to push through. He kept evolving his Athora.
Mm-hmm.
He evolved it to its upgraded form and then would do it again. He did it twice in one turn.
Oh, wait. I almost forgot. But speaking of overturn.
Yeah?
here's a con about the tournament.
Okay.
Because it was that same round that the guy had mentioned something about it. I'm not blaming the head judge or anything, but apparently the round before a team was rule sharking.
Yeah.
And because the way Bushi has Athora's overturn, like, kind of ruled-ish, the head judge was forced to rule link attacks as 1 point damage instead of the 2 that it should be.
It should be 2, but he ruled 1, which is Bushi's fault. They've been inconsistent as hell with it.
Yeah.
But it was still kind of crappy.
Yeah. But now continue.
And continuing, it was my turn, and I had corpse bots on field, and I had another monster, let's say globes, and I had my Satsuki, and I ended up deciding to go with Satsuki's overturn, and my goal was try and get his, because he had a decent hand size, was to get his Athora down to 1 soul with no cards in hand for protection, and then swing with Satsuki to try and deal him penetrate, since Satsuki wouldn't be on board anymore. Or his
Satsuki wouldn't be on
board. His Athora.
Woo!
Yeah, I got really close. I was maybe 1 attack short of that.
Okay.
And then he used his impact.
All right, game 2.
And he dealt me 9 damage.
In game 2?
Yeah. So, game 2, I had sideboarded.
Okay.
And game 2, he got nothing. He kind of bricked, and I just went, okay, attack, you're dead.
Okay.
It was super uneventful.
All right, but game 3, I remember you talking about it. Game 3.
I feel so bad.
To be fair, we'll let you continue.
He went first.
Yeah.
He called out Athora. I'm like, oh no, it begins.
Mm-hmm.
And he attacked for 2 and passed.
Okay.
And then I drew. And I drew Gallows.
Oh no.
Right? And the entire time I'm like, does he have the Mirror Valley? Right? Did he set it? Was he going to set it during his first turn? He didn't set one. So I'm like, oh, I guess he didn't draw one. Because I knew Gallows was in my deck.
And
I also had a couple cards that would bounce it. So I drew the Gallows, slapped the Gallows down, and he just went white in the face. And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, I had the Mirror Valley in hand and forgot to play it.
The unfortunate misplay.
Yep.
Unfortunate misplay.
Moved his Athora.
And then that was it.
And then sized out Gallows and got my good field. And then just swung for game. And I've done that in tournaments before. Not that specific thing, but where I made a misplay that was really, really dumb and cost me the game.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks. And I'm like, oh, man, I feel so sorry. That sucks.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Are we done with the round? Or does
Christian.
Christian hasn't. That's right.
Christian hasn't gone. Christian, what was your round 5?
Again, against Leviathan. Again.
Leviathan.
But this time I actually got to play.
You're welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Well, let's see. It was 3 games, okay?
Okay.
Ooh.
Putting that out. First round.
First game.
Okay. I don't remember what happened. I think I won that one, okay?
Okay.
Round.
Game 2.
Game 2. He won because he had
Daryl on the field, right?
No, it's the swords, man.
No, actually,
not Daryl. I'm talking about Daryl. Durandal. That's my bad. My bad. Durandal.
So it was your bad.
It was my bad.
He was running Daryl, a judge.
Durandal.
Yeah, because he can run Daryl in the Legend World deck.
Yep.
But didn't he have Durandal on the field?
Not Durandal and replica. What's it called?
Excalibur,
and that screwed me over.
Ooh, Excalibur is pretty scary.
It is.
Well, I think I saw that game, and I think you had sideboarded in a card to destroy a card on the field.
Yeah, but then
Durandal basically just says, "Yep, none of my weapons can be destroyed," and you're just like,
got it.
Sugar.
And I believe I sideboarded that card out for different cards, but and then game 3. Whoo! I knew if I didn't win this game for you guys, we wouldn't make it to the next round. So it was everything or nothing.
I love how, just due to the nature of our decks, Dalton would always be the first one done, and if we ended up with 1-1, it always came down to a super stressful match for Christian and I.
Yeah.
That was my plan. I didn't want to be stressed out.
So basically, he had a field of 6 items.
Ooh.
Oh.
6.
Durandal, Leviathan, obviously, because otherwise you wouldn't have anything else. Luckily enough, he did not have the new sword that gave him plus 20 defense. That's what got me this win, because that's how I lost basically the second match, because he won that 20 defense.
It's so dumb, but so great.
Yep. I ended up calling from deck Evil Sword Dragon, and I called I keep forgetting his name, but I call him Bide. He's the one that deals the damage, and he has plus 1 crit.
I actually got to watch this game.
So basically, it was swing for 2, gain a life, swing for 2, gain a life with the sword, swing with bots, swing with chaos bots, swing with Gear God, swing with the item because it's 1 crit, swing with the dude has 3 crit, swing with the dude has 3 crit. And he used some spells to nullify, but
he was trying to cycle with the bloody holy grails.
Yeah, basically. But then because he couldn't cycle anymore after the fact. I just swung for the 3 and 3 and the 1 crit and got him.
There you go.
At that point in Swiss, we were 4-1.
4-1, yeah.
And we did get top 8.
Yeah, they threw up the rankings.
We ranked
5th, but then we were looking at all the 3 and 2s. And there was a lot. So I was wondering if they were gonna have to do a whole matchup between them to see who actually gets in and all that. That didn't happen.
Nope.
And then top 8.
Top 8. So this was your guys' first time in top 8.
It was normal.
It was normal. We had to sit through deck checks, which was fun. We missed a word on my deck list, and the judge was like, I don't know, I might have to check, but it was
sorry.
Cool.
I was in a rush, and I got frustrated with all the long names, and I forgot of. If you would have gotten a game loss for of, I would have been.
Yeah, he's like, and the judge was like, typically it's fine as long as the code's correct.
Yeah.
And the code was, and then we go into our top 8, and my opponent had a very similar situation. Unfortunately, she messed up the code.
Oh, no.
So she was given a game loss for top 8, which meant that I only had to win 1 out of 2 games against her.
Okay.
She was playing toilets.
Ooh.
And it was, I'm like, ooh, toilets. I'm actually excited for this. Like, sure, there should be some pressure here, but like toilets is just really fun to play against. And wow, she bricked the brickiest of bricks.
Oh no.
Yeah, so she and I played 1 game. It was maybe 4 minutes, and I won. And then we were just sitting there for the rest of the top 8 match, just hanging out, and primarily watching Christian's match. But we'll get to that.
All right. And also, mind you guys, I did not play the same deck twice in Swiss. Those 2 did. But that didn't stop top 8 from giving me another Thunder Empire thing. So game 1, it was pretty dang close. If I would have actually ran nullifies, I probably would have survived and actually would have won, because I was the first person to make him use the key Uno. And he was like, "You're the first person to make me do this." And I'm like, I feel honored. So honored.
I only keyed like once in the entire tournament, so I can understand that.
Yeah, it was funny because I'm just thinking to myself, can I survive? And then I'm just like calculating everything. I'm like, nope, I'm dead. I'm dead. He just got it. And then game 2, OTK'd. Game 3, what did I do? What did I do wrong? Don't really remember it that well, but I know I lost. I think it was decently close. All I know is I lost, couldn't pull it through. Justify, sideboarded it. No, I think I was really hoping to get my 1 obstruction into hand. That's what it was. That's what I was with. Because that was the main reason why he won game 3, because he got so much advantage. And just like, I'm like, yeah, I sideboarded this in against you. He's just like, he looked at it. He's like, oh God.
Like, should have been running it at 4.
I only had the 1. Now, Christian, you faced an old friend of ours.
Oh yes, and I guess it was my turn to face him. Unfortunately,
we have history with Brandon O'Ramus. Previously, Brandon has kicked both Dalton and I out of tournaments.
Not really.
Well,
I got matched up with him in the first round, and he pulled the best hand to stop my, at the time, ninja deck.
At that same tournament, he and I were in round 5, I want to say, and we're both up for top 8 basically, and it ended up being, whoever won that would get into top 8 and whoever lost wouldn't, and he creamed me. And I remember walking over to you and just going like, that was bad. And you're like, what happened? It's only been like 4 minutes. I'm like, yeah. That's back when he was playing Osbrodai.
Dang, man.
Yeah.
Now Christian.
It was Christian's turn.
Christian, tell us the experience with Brandon O'Ramus.
I say he's like the best Prism Dragon player I've ever faced.
It's true.
Yeah. So
it felt like an episode of Buddyfight. That was actually good.
I don't know. It almost seemed more Super-esque or any Dragon Ball. Because you could probably fit it into like 3 or 4 different episodes.
You know what? Ironically, that could. Yes.
So game 1. What happened in game 1?
I lost because I was basically he has his field set up pretty well. He had his shoes, he got Crystal Nut out and all that, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I call my stuff.
It's
Chris Guys. I don't know.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't play Prisms.
I know.
All right. So you're doing your thing,
and then
trying
I'm
to
attacking and all that. And he's like Ethereism effect, right? Something like that. My monsters can't be killed during my turn. Can't be destroyed. I'm like, no.
Ooh.
Because my match was so short, I got to watch basically every turn of his entire matchup.
Yeah.
And Brandon's entire strategy was Chris Geis on field, Asterism effect every time he could, and
then he killed 2. And then he always took out my poor item, my innocent item that let me draw.
Your item would stay for 1 turn, and then it would be gone.
Yep.
All right. So game 2. Let's get to game 2. What happened?
I won.
Come on. There was a little bit more meat and potatoes in that one. Come on now.
I think it was just force. Christian just was able to push. He had that like super big field with several double attackers.
Like 3 boxes on field. Well, 2 boxes technically, but
I was getting more to the fact that it went to overtime.
Oh, that's right.
I was gonna get there eventually.
Technically, that was in game 2. So, you want me to explain?
Sure.
Because you're not the greatest with like overtime rules.
Sure.
All right. So, in game 2, they went to overtime. Time was called, and they were given 3 turns to finish the game.
Right.
And Christian, spoilers, you won.
Yeah, I won.
Christian won in those 3 turns, and that's where the problems start.
Because then it was 1-1.
They were 1-1, which meant they were technically at a draw, which would be fine if either team had a 2-0 already, right?
Yes.
But they didn't because it was 1-1 and then 1-1. So a winner had to be decided. So they were given the quite rare double overtime. And
15 extra minutes to battle out, try to figure out who moves on.
Now, it did not come down to this, but technically they could have gone into triple overtime if they had elapsed that 15 minutes.
Should I just wait 5 minutes more?
Yes. If they had elapsed that 15 minutes, they would have gone into 3 extra turns, and then it would be decided by life total, I believe. And then if their life total was...
All right, we're getting off topic. We're getting off topic.
Quadruple
We're getting off topic. Christian, can you just explain the game 3? Because Jacob's just gone.
His defense was too strong, man. I died.
Oh. Okay.
He basically, that's the game where he casts his impact and he dealt me a lot of damage.
Bang.
And then I lost.
Christian's resource game, I think, was the issue.
Yeah, no, because I had he destroyed my item again, and the item really makes it better. And I never got out Gear God.
Yeah.
Version 1 of Gear God size 90.
And that was our journey into top 8.
Yeah. My only regret is we didn't get dem playmats, though.
That was the only complaint.
Yep. But no, we still got top 8. which, proves that our dedication and, how hard we trained and practiced.
OTK.
And the OTK game was strong, man.
Right, let's talk about the meta real quick, just because it's kind of wrapping down.
Yeah, sure.
You know how a healthy card game has a triangle meta where you have 3 different decks that can all beat one of the other ones and then vice versa type deal.
Rock, paper, scissors style.
The rock, paper, scissors meta. I felt like we had a square type meta
where
there was about 4 different decks that were out there that can all kind of mess around and do some things.
Minus rogue decks.
I wasn't counting rogue decks.
What do you got?
Thunder Empire Fang, because they will never leave, unfortunately. Maybe. We don't know about next season. Auto Deities, because there's Thunder Emperor Fang in Chaos. Pure Chaos, if it's built right and done right, it's strong. And I felt, you could disagree with me, you can have your own 4th, but I think Leviathan, because we did see a lot of Leviathan. Yeah, they were kind of strong. One of our buddies were also down there from Green Bay. He was playing Leviathan. Unfortunately for him, it wasn't just working for him, unfortunately, but still, it was a great deck. Maybe 1 more or 2 cards could have helped it a little bit. I do know he forgot a few cards back here in Green Bay for his sideboard, which might have helped him out a little bit, but that's besides the point. That's where I felt. Did you think there might have been a different 4th deck there?
I think you're pretty accurate with that. You are missing prisms, which fit in there somewhere.
You know how I feel against Dragon World.
It's
not against you guys. It's blame Jackknife.
No, but overall, I really enjoyed the tournament, and I'm looking forward to doing this again next year.
Oh, yeah. Well, next year.
Next
later
year
this
for
year.
Springfest.
Oh. Okay.
For Team League.
Fair.
But like more than anything, I'm so itching to get back into competitive buddy fight in the fall and doing, solo runs, because I don't need you guys, man.
Well, I hope I can beat you then.
Oh, is that a challenge? Fun fact, none of us have ever fought each other in a regionals before.
Jacob doesn't want that to happen. Trust us. He does not want that to happen.
All right, do you have any final words?
Christian, do you have any final words?
Next time I will go beyond top 8 to top 1.
That's some big talking.
Maybe. Well, it depends on what happens in the meta.
Rogue decks were amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing rogue deck.
I like how there were not only a lot of people playing rogue, but there was a lot of variety in the rogue decks.
Mm-hmm. And one last thing, the ABC meta is real in team leagues.
Yeah,
ABC
you
meta.
really, really got to think about where you're positioning your players.
Yep, and I just 4 stars on us.
All right, so that's it for this.
Basically it. So make sure to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. Help us get to 2K, because we already hit that 1K.
Thanks.
And we're trying to go further. All thanks to you guys. Join our Discord, talk to us, chat with us. We fun. I hopefully don't get into a random meme card deck thingy with Christian again. That was a one-time thing, hopefully. Follow us on Instagram. We did post a lot of stuff while we were down there, and we try to post regularly. And hopefully for the next event, we'll be posting some more stuff. Check out the shop, buy some things if you'd like to, or just browse, That works too for me. Anything else, Jones?
No, you hit everything.
Perfect. Because above all else, stay classy, y'all.
Thanks for listening to TCG Buzz. New episodes can be found on tcgbuzz.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. For box openings, deck profiles, and more, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.